I used to think the biggest challenge in UX was the users and knowing them. Then I met the team. If UX is a role-playing game, users are not your players, they're the dungeon. The real party you're guiding are the developers, product managers, marketing executives, and the intern who wandered into stand-up by accident. And today, we're going to talk about why being a designer is basically being a dungeon master. So there is an illusion of designers guiding the users. But here's the twist. Users behave however they want. They don't argue with you. They don't negotiate scope. They don't. The team does. Developers rewrite your encounters mid-session. Product managers sneak side quests into the sprint backlog. Stakeholders treat requirements like optional DLC. And you're there trying to keep the campaign from collapsing into chaos. Your job is not guiding the users. Your job is guiding the people who think they know the users. Designers get treated like pixel sorcerers, conjuring perfect flows on demand. But the real design, it's closer to DM prep. You anticipate chaos, you balance constraints, you set up the world so other people can succeed without failing into cognitive traps. In a game of Dungeons and Dragons, a dungeon master does not control the party. They create structure around freedom, guardrails, not leashes. That's design. You create clarity, not control. Every development team secretly mirrors a D&D party. And yes, it's exactly as chaotic as it sounds. Developer, the wizard, intelligent, analytical, armed with arcane knowledge of systems and architecture, can solve impossible problems instantly, or accidentally summon a production branch incident with one misplaced spell. Product manager, the rogue. They slip extra scope into sprint while you blink. Master of stealthy backlog manipulation and breaking the party into tiers. Marketing, the bard. Sings inspirational feature requests that break the logic of your flow but somehow enchant executives. Business stakeholders, the paladin. Righteous, unwavering. Powered by KPIs handed down by higher gods, likely lawful good. And then there's the designer, the dungeon master, stitching their chaos into something shippable without letting the dungeon burn down. You don't control the party, you just try to keep them from setting the dungeon on fire. Digital projects are not one-shots, they're campaigns. In one-shots, you burn all your spell slots or your budget on the first encounter. In campaigns, you have to manage long rests. If your team burns out in discovery, they won't have the hit points left for final bosses, the stakeholder approval meetings. The team shares an end goal, even with everyone having their own hijinks and skill sets. The developer or the wizard wants the cleanest, most efficient code architecture. The product manager wants to loot as many features as possible for the roadmap. The bard in the marketing wants the flashiest performance to impress the crowd. The DM's job is to remind them that if the kingdom or the product fails, nobody gets the gold. You're the one holding the quest log, constantly pointing back to the core user needs so the party doesn't spend 3 weeks arguing with a shopkeeper or a button radius while the main quest rots. You also need to look at the rule of cool. Sometimes you need to let the team have their hijinks. Maybe the dev tries a new framework or the PM gets a pet feature, but only if it doesn't derail the main mission. Your job is managing the group dynamic and the story. A party that hates each other won't finish the campaign or the project. You're not just designing screens, you're managing the social contract that keeps everyone moving in the same direction. So if I say the team is the adventuring party, the users are not the characters or the NPCs. They're the world. They're the terrain, the puzzles, the traps, the unpredictable encounters. You cannot control them. You can only design around their behavior. Good design is mapping the dungeon, understanding where players get stuck, lost, overwhelmed, confused, or attacked by unexpected edge cases. While the users, they don't fight you, they reveal the shape of the world. A dungeon master prepares for everything except for what actually happens. Design works the same way, but here's the part people forget. Preparation isn't just about neat flows and tidy edge cases. It's about giving yourself options when the dungeon collapses. You design flows, you plan edge cases, you anticipate questions, and then someone on the team introduces information mid-sentence or remembers a critical requirement at 4 p.m. on Friday. More senior designers are not clairvoyants. They've just learned chaos patterns. They prep like a dungeon master, flexible, modular, ready to improvise when the party inevitably goes off the map. Preparation reduces chaos, improvisation survives it. But here's the tangible version, the part you can actually do. Practical contingency design checklist. Prepare a fallback path. Always know what the experience becomes when complexity collapses. Keep your core untouched. Identify the elements that cannot break, shrink, or move. Design for the moment things go wrong. Error states, dead ends, missing data, wrong clicks. Plan for inconsistency, content gaps, API delays, and human unpredictability. They're not bugs, they're reality. Create modular ideas, pieces you can rearrange, simplify, or expand without restarting the whole damn flow. Let clarity lead. When chaos hits, the simplest version should still work. If you can walk into a meeting with structure when everyone else brings panic, you're already the most valuable person in the room, no matter what job you do. Sometimes designers get told that their job is to make intuitive screens, which is cute. Most of the job is actually aligning everyone in the team to understand the goal, the product, translating the user requirements into something tangible for the team to understand, setting the expectations so the stakeholders and product managers don't expect every task to be done by Monday 9 a.m., and guiding a multi-class team through uncertainty. You're not designing a happy path, you're designing a world that survives impact. Designing is dungeon mastering. You build the world, guide the party, and pray they don't ignore the map. Designers are not the heroes. We make contingencies for the rest of the party so they can have a great campaign, and then we watch everyone do something we never planned for. And somehow, it still ships. If this episode made your design trauma feel seen, subscribe, it genuinely helps. Drop me a comment of what piece of UX chaos you want me to dismantle next. There's also a link to my Substack in the description. And remember, here on Design Unhinged, we don't just design. We navigate the madness and make meaning out of chaos.